Hi guys, welcome to Horological Watch Review channel. Rolex Submariner is a famous as a durable diver's watch designed for underwater use. Here is Rolex Submariner history. Rolex Submariner was introduced for the first time at the Basel Watch Fair in 1953. At that time, it stood out was a waterproof watch and resistant to diving up 200 meters. Submariner first model reference it started with 6204 and has gone through several model and design changes over time. In 1954, the model's water resistance was increased to 200 meters and its various technical and design improvements were subsequently made. Iconic moments in history. Seen in the 1960s Submariner James Bond movies, it increased its popularity by being featured on Canary's wrist. During this period, the rotating hour display on the watch bezel was made available for measuring the dive time. Continuous improvement. The Submariner achieved the distinction of becoming a certified chronometer in 70s. Over time, improvements were constantly made to materials, mechanisms, and the design features of the model. Today, Rolex Submariner is represented by several different models available in different materials, colors, and features. However, the essence and durability of the origin design was being preserved. Rolex the Submariner has been a popular choice not only for divers but also for those who love luxury, sports and watches, combining fashion and functionality. This model has become the symbol of Rolex. This Rolex on my arm is made of steel. The caliber is original steel 35-35, but it has now 32-35. Reserve power is 70 hours. If you put your watch away, it will work 70 hours more. And it has 31 stones in it. Also, it is waterproof 300 meters. Bezel material is ceramic and the pin is sapphire glass. And the cord is steel also. Rolex is a world-famous Swiss watch brand and has a long history. The first Rolex watch was made by Hans in 1905. Wilsdorf and Alfred. It was founded by two British entrepreneurs named Davis. However, they registered the actual brand name in 1908. Rolex has been a brand that has initiated many important innovations and design developments in the watch industry. One of their first significant achievements was the successful development of a waterproof watch case design. Rolex in 1926, by introducing the Oyster model, they made the watch case waterproof. This is the first watch that can be used underwater. In 1931, Perpetual is a clock mechanism with an automatic movement system was invented. They introduced the rotor. The system uses the user's wrist movement to move the watch mechanism, this automatically providing energy without a battery. Rolex was gained a leading position in the luxury watch industry, over time gaining a reputation for quality and precision. The brand's sports and marine-based models, especially Rolex Submariner and Rolex iconic models such as the Daytona, have attracted the great attention among watch enthusiasts. Also, Rolex sponsorships and brand strategies have increased the company's prestige. Rolex has become the official timekeeper of many sporting events, making the name for itself at a major events such as the Wimbledon tennis tournament and the Open Golf tournament. Rolex has a respected position in the watch industry with its quality materials, precise manufacturing processes and innovative designs. Each of their watches is produced with care and has often become a symbol of luxury and durability. Hans Wilsdorf. Rolex founder Hans Wilsdorf, it is incredibly linked on Windows for Watch thinking spirit. Hans, in 1905, at the age of 24, Wilsdorf founded a company in London specializing in the distribution of watches. He began to dream of a wrist-worn watch. Wristwatches are not very accurate at that time, but Hans Wilsdorf envisioned these watches to be not only stylish but also reliable. To convince the public of the reliability of these unwaveringly innovative timepieces, he equipped them with a small, highly precise movements produced by a Swiss watch company in Bienne. Genius summed up in 5 letters. I tried to combine the letters of the alphabet in every way possible. Eventually, hundreds of names emerged, but none of them sounded right. One morning in London, as I was sitting on the top of raw carriage and driving around Cheapside, a fairy whispered "Rolex" into my ear. Chronometric punctuality. Rolex first focused in the quality of the movements. Incessant research to the chronometric precision quickly brought in success. In 1910, the first wristwatch of the world received the Swiss Chronometric Certificate of Precision issued by the official Watch Evaluation Center in the city of Brienne was a Rolex. 4 years later, in 1914, the Kew Observatory in Great Britain awarded Rolex wristwatches with the A-class functionality certificate, a degree unique to Marian chronometers until that date. From now on, the Rolex wristwatch would be synonymous with punctuality. Rolex moved to the world-famous city of watchmaking, Genoa. Montres, the Rolex SA brand was registered in Genoa in 1920. The first waterproof wristwatch. In 1926, when Rolex created the first waterproof and dustproof wristwatch, called the Oyster. This watch featured hermetically sealed case that provided optimum protection for the movements. It is possible to claim that a watch is waterproof, but proving this is completely different. In 1927, a young British swimmer named Mercedes Glitze wore a Rolex. He crosses the English Channel with the Oyster watch. At the end of this test, which lasted more than 10 hours, the watch was in perfect working order. In 1927, Rolex ran a full-page advertisement on the front page of the Daily Mail newspaper, trumpeting the success of the waterproof watch. This incident gave rise to the concept of brand witness. Perpetual mechanism. In 1931, Rolex patented the world's first self-winding movement with a perpetual rotor. This flawless system, a true work of art, forms the heart of the modern automatic watches today. Flying over Everest. Rolex on the first flight over Everest Oyster model watches were used. Team members were extremely pleased with the performance of the watch. Secret Malcolm Campbell. In the 1930s, Rolex, one of the world's fastest drivers, Sir Malcolm Campbell, came together with this quest for speed. On September 4, 1935, the king of the speed was driving a car named Bluebird with a Rolex watch on his wrist in Utah. He set the land speed record by exceeding 300 miles per hour in the Bonneville Salt Desert. Secret Malcolm lived between 1924 and 1935, 5 of them in Daytona, Florida. He broke the world speed record 9 times, including at beach. Rolex didn't miss the wonderful opportunity to test the technical performance of the Oyster model in different arenas, fine-tune the model and demonstrate them. The world of sports, aviation, motor racing, and expectations were living laboratories for the countless technical features of the watch. First Datejust model. In 1945 saw the birth of the Datejust model, the first self-winding wrist chronometer to deploy the date through a window on the dial. The highly acclaimed Datejust model is equipped with a specially designed Jubilee bracelet and a fluted bezel, making it instantly recognizable as a Rolex Oyster. It is the pillar of the perpetual collection. Groundbreaking watches. In the early 1950s, Rolex developed the professional watches that were used as real equipment and whose functions went beyond simply showing the time. These watches were invented to professional activities such as deep-sea diving, aviation monitoring, and scientific exploration. The watches create great interest and gained reputation of the watches of successful people. In 1953, under the leadership of Sir John Hunt and Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Oyster on Norgay's expedition of the summit of Mount Everest, perpetual models were used. Inspired by the knowledge gained from this fascinating discovery that witnessed the human spirit of adventure, the Explorer model, introduced in 1953 to celebrate the historic ascent of the Mount Everest, became an instant icon. Submariner. Introduced to the market in 1953, the Submariner was the first diving watch to be waterproof of depth of 100 meters. Its rotating bezel allows divers to read the times. First intercontinental flights. With the advancement of the intercontinental travel in the 1950s, airlines quickly began flying across the several consecutive time zones. For the first time, it has become important to know the time of different points on the world simultaneously. This was the beginning of the Jet Age, and Rolex kept up with the times with a watch in the spirit of the times. GMT Master. Designed to assist worldwide professionals on the expectations, the GMT Master includes the famous PAN, also known as It Can, because the official watch time airline companies, including the American World Airways. Its most distinctive visual feature is its two-color frame and separating daytime and the nighttime hours. Day date. The day date model was introduced in 1956, available only on 18-karat gold or platinum. The model was the first wristwatch to display the date and the day in full letters through with window on the dial. With the President bracelet specially designed for this purpose, the day date model continues to be perfect watch for those who leave their mark. Daytona Beach, Florida. With its long, flat, hardened stand, the beach helped to make of the city Daytona legendary as the speed capital of the world. Between 1904 and 1935, 5 Rolex users were Sir Malcolm. It hosted 14 world land speed records set by Campbell. The sand destroyed over the years in 1959 super speedway built Daytona International Speedway. This new amphitheater for motor racing quickly attracted one of the most prestigious car endurance races in the world, along with the 24 hours of the Le Mans. Although the surface is no longer sand, Daytona is still home to legendary test of man and machines, the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Deep Sea Special. Rolex introduced Deep in the 1950s. He carried out strenuous tests on the experimental watch called Sea Special. The third Deep model was designed using the information obtained in the construction of the two models. The Deep Sea model is built to withstand the most extreme conditions in the Challenger Deep of the Mariana Trench. Cosmograph Daytona. Introduced in 1963 was new generation chronograph. The Cosmograph soon gained its iconic name, Daytona. Designed as an essential tool for endurance racing drivers, the Cosmograph, the Daytona was rugged, waterproof, and equipped with a technometric scale on the bezel to calculate average speed. Sea Dweller. The launch of the Sea Dweller model, which was waterproof to depth 610 meters. To meet the needs of the professional deep sea divers, the case is equipped with a helium release valve. Thus, the helium used the gas mixtures could be expelled without danger of the damaging of the watch during the long decompression stage in the hyperbolic chambers. Explorer 2. In 1971, Rolex introduced the Special Explorer 2 model for the polar explorers, speleologists, and those who push the limits of the expectations. The watch is equipped with a special 24 hand, which is an available aid in situations where day and night cannot be distinguished the poles and underground. Sea Dweller 4000. In 1978, Rolex introduced the Sea Dweller 4000, which was waterproof at depth of 1,220 meters deep. 904 Steel. Oyster steel developed specifically for the brand belongs to the 904L steel group. An alloy used the high-tech fields such as the aerospace and chemical industries, where maximum resistance to corrosion is very important. Oyster steel is extremely resistant to rust, as an extraordinary shine, and retains its shine even the hardest conditions. In 1985, Rolex became the first watch brand to use from the 904L steel group in the watch cases. Yachtmaster. The year 1992 heralded the birth of the Yachtmaster model. Thanks to this new model, the ties between Rolex and the sailing world have become even stronger. 4130 mechanism. Chronograph function Cosmograph is a fewer component introduced in 2000. It is a self-winding mechanical chronograph movement developed and produced entirely by Rolex for Daytona. Cerachrome frame. In 2005, Rolex developed and patented the exclusive Cerachrome bezel for the select professional watch models to ensure lasting beauty and functionality even after exposure at the most extreme conditions. Shaped from extremely hard ceramic materials, this frame is virtually stretch-proof and its color not affected by ultraviolet rays. Its diamond polished surface provides an extraordinary shine. The 24-hour gradations engulfed it covered with a thin layer of platinum. Blue parachrome pendulum. Also in 2005, after 5 years of research, Rolex designed the blue parachrome pendulum. Made from the paramagnetic alloy, the pendulum is not affected by magnetic fields and is 10 times more resistant to impacts than traditional pendulums. Historically, the unique blue color of the pendulum is a symbol of prestige, reserved only for wristwatches that tell the most accurate time. Yachtmaster 2. First announced in 2007, Yachtmaster 2 is the first watch of the world in a mechanical memory and a programmable countdown. This function is activated by the rotating bezel thanks to the patented ring command system developed by Rolex. It's a regatta. The chronograph countdown always captains the cross the starting line with perfect timing. Sky Dweller. The year is 2012. Rolex introduced a new brand innovation for the world travelers, the Sky Dweller model, a technological masterpiece. In addition to the easy-to-use to read dual time zone, it also features a special innovative calendar that recurs the date adjustments only once a year, named after the astronomical phenomenon known as the Saros cycle. It is also equipped with a new interface, the ring command system, for quick and easy adjustment for functions. Rolex Deep Sea Challenge. Rolex Deep Sea Challenge is an experimental diving watch designed and manufactured entirely by Rolex to withstand the extreme pressure at the deepest points of the oceans. Its certificate water resistance to 12,000 meters. This sets the record for the deepest diving watch in the world. 2-1 Cerachrome frame disc. Rolex introduced the GMT Master 2 model with a 2-tone Cerachrome disc in the blue and black ceramic. The following year, a version of the watch was released with a 2-tone Cerachrome bezel disc in the red and blue ceramic. Each of the dual color combinations on a single piece ceramic components was a world first and turning points of the used ceramics in the world of watchmaking. Caliber 2236 equipped with Siloxy pendulum. For smaller sized watch, Rolex introduced the new Caliber 2236 developed in the house, featuring Siloxy pendulum made of silicone and offering unmatched chronometric performance. This self-winding mechanical movement was produced entirely by Rolex and pioneered a new generation of calibers. Caliber 3255. The date 40, Rolex introduced the new generation mechanical movement Caliber 3255, which sets the new performance standards for the features such as accuracy, power reserve, reliability, resistance to shock and magnetism, and the ease of adjustments. The power reserve has been extended to 3 days, about 7 hours, an increase of 24 hours or 50% compared to the previous generation. Oyster Flex bracelet. In 2015, Rolex introduced the Oyster Flex, a new and innovative patented bracelet developed by the brand. First of all, Yachtmaster, a special watch for sailors, is black and 18 karat Everose was offered in gold versions. This technical bracelet combines the durability and reliability a metal bracelet with the flexibility, comfort, and aesthetic of an elastomer strap, and its center is a super elastic metal blade coated with high performance black elastomer. Superior chronometer certification. All Rolex watches carry this superior chronometer certification, which Rolex refined in 2015. The special designation is proof that the watch has successfully passed a series of the tests carried out in accordance with Rolex's own criteria. The superior chronometer certification also comes with 5-year international warranty. New Caliber 22-23 and 32-30. The year is 2020. Calibers 22-32 and 32-30 are self-winding mechanical movements entirely developed and produced by Rolex. These mechanisms, which are the technological pioneers, paved the way of many patents. Platinum day date with fluted bezel. Rolex offered the date 840 in platinum 950 with a fluted bezel made of the same precious metal. It took many years of researching adapt the tempering used for the create for the fluids for the finest metals. This certification marks a turning point with the evolution of Rolex know how it is since its fluid frame became part of the brand's stylistic heritage. Deep sea, the emergence of the challenge. In 2022 Oyster Perpetual, the Deep Sea Challenge is influenced by the experimental watch development for the James Cameron historic dive in the Mariana Trench on March 26, 2012. This model increasingly combines Rolex years experience and know-how in the world of diving watches. Yes guys, today we checked my Rolex Submariner and we take a historical ways to the Rolex. Thank you very much for watching. See you in next videos.